All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So we have some Jets news to talk about here. Okay, some really interesting stuff that I find extremely fascinating. Now, I posted a video a couple hours ago about Derek Carr's meeting with the Jets. It's done. It's over with. And we know that Carr checked out the facility. We know that he met with multiple people. Everybody saw the picture of Carr, Saleh, Hackett, and Downing all having something to eat. But that was pretty much it. We didn't really know what was next. It was kind of like this massive cliffhanger. Did the meeting go well? Where does everybody stand? Did it go horribly wrong? Are the two parties far apart? Did these guys get along? Like, so many questions. But I want to give a shout out to my buddy Alexander Cohen. He dropped a comment on the last video. And by the way, I filmed that at like 7:30, but I posted it a couple hours ago. But he commented on it saying that, hey man, Jeff Darlington of ESPN hopped on TV and said that the meeting actually went really, really well. So I'm like, sweet, let me check it out. I watched the clip. Darlington not only just said that the meeting went well, but that the Jets view Derek Carr as a guy that can get the team to a championship, right? This is a championship caliber quarterback in the Jets' eyes. Now, assuming Darlington is correct, assuming that he wasn't fed false information, or we're not like fluffing up storylines, fluffing up different words to make things sound better, or look better optically speaking to like fans and whatnot. If the Jets actually view Carr as a championship level quarterback, then they need to sign him. Of course, there's two parties here. Carr he might not want to go. Maybe he was turned off from the Jets. Maybe he's looking at Carolina saying, like, Frank Reich, they have a great defense too. They got weapons. I would rather go play in the warm weather in Carolina. Maybe I'll go play in a dome in New Orleans. Maybe Tampa Bay. Of course, there's two parties here. But, I mean, if the Jets seriously view Carr as a guy that can lead this team to a championship, then from the Jets' end, what's the holdup? What's the holdup here? He has experience working with Downing. I mean, we can talk about the resume all we want. With the fourth quarter comebacks, with him being the franchise leader in numerous categories, passing yards, all these different things, right? We know, I feel like, who Derek Carr is. He has a really high floor. Maybe we've seen his ceiling, maybe not though. I think when it's all said and done, Derek Carr is a really, really good quarterback. He's not elite, he's not top five, but he's a really good option at the quarterback position. And again, according to Darlington here, if he's correct, I mean, this to me has to get done. Now, Darlington did go on to say or talk a little bit about Aaron Rodgers, his timeline about the Jets maybe waiting and wanting to pull that trigger. But it's like, okay, if Rodgers is older, he's more expensive financially, you're going to have to trade for him. And just like using mathematics, assuming no crazy injury happens, Aaron Rodgers is going to wrap his career up before Derek Carr. And if the Jets view Derek Carr as a guy who's a championship level quarterback, then to me, it's like you have your answer. If Rodgers and Carr are held in the same light, right? You have your answer right then and there. Now, I'm not going to sit here and kid myself and say, oh, Derek Carr is better than Aaron Rodgers right now on the field. I don't think so. I think Rodgers is better. You put Rodgers on the Jets, you put Derek Carr on the Jets this upcoming year. I think Rodgers gives the Jets a better chance to not only just make the playoffs, but to potentially win a Super Bowl. But what happens the year after, right? What happens the year after that? What happens if Rodgers retires? What happens if he's not a great teammate? What happens if he wants to skip the OTA part or section of the offseason, and there's like this slow onboarding to the season? Everybody's trying to build chemistry throughout the course of the middle of the season. Like, there's so many different question marks. There's so many different hurdles that you have to prepare for when talking about a guy in Rodgers. Although the on-the-field stuff is fantastic, we have to take into consideration everything else. And that's assuming we land him. That's assuming that he comes out of the darkness retreat, which he's still in and he's not going to be out of, I think, for at least another day or two, because it wasn't definite on when he was going into the darkness. And then after he gets out of the darkness, he wants time to adjust to kind of get back to normal, normal day and night cycle. So there's obviously a lot going on with Rodgers here, but I think the main takeaway from Darlington, again, assuming he's correct, assuming it's not like hyping up a certain statement, or, the information that he was fed is, was wrong or anything like that, like assuming everything is cool and that is the truth, then the Jets got to make a full court press. Why did Derek Carr leave the facility? Of course, he wants to go check out Carolina. Of course, he might want to go check out Tampa, explore every opportunity, maybe even give the Saints an opportunity to match the Jets' offer. I don't think anybody really believed that a deal was going to be signed this weekend. But after this meeting, if the Jets are viewing Carr in that high regard, I mean, that's just insane. It's just like, oh my God, like we could literally be talking about the next Jets quarterback here for years on end, because Carr is what, 31 years old, going to be 32, I believe, by the time the season rolls around, 31 or 32. That's a lot different than 40, 41. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out, but that's, again, the main takeaway, that the Jets could potentially view Derek Carr as a championship level quarterback. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. Again, special shout out to Alexander Cohen. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have caught that. So thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.